G'day everyone, welcome back to Bunny Basics. I know it's been a very long time since my last video, so I thought today, since I was cleaning out the rabbit pen, that I should make a video for you guys. So, as you can see, I am just getting started here. Mostly what I'm doing at the moment is just getting everything out the way, picking up the mats and tipping off the poops from them before doing the vacuuming of the rug area. So, Luna, I've recently discovered, is the one that leaves poops everywhere. I originally used to think it was Apollo because he is the one that will occasionally wee outside the litter tray if he thinks I've done something wrong. But Luna is the one that actually leaves poops around. So I do sweep those up generally every day with a dustpan, but I had left that a couple days, which is why there was so many all over the place. So just vacuuming up everything on that rug collects so much fur, especially from Apollo. He's just like leaves fluffy bunny tumbleweeds everywhere. So it's I have to be fairly thorough when I'm vacuuming that rug and just cleaning all that up, because you just get fluff everywhere with rabbits, but you would know that if you have a rabbit as well. So this pen, I don't know if I've shown this pen yet. I think maybe possibly. We moved towards the end of last year, which was not something we wanted to do, but it has really benefited the rabbits because they've ended up with this much larger playpen area, which is fantastic for them. And so I bought a new rug for their playpen maybe mid last year, and then have used extra rugs and mats throughout the place just to cover up bits of the tile. This rug that I'm vacuuming actually sits on top of the cage, and the cats sometimes sit on that throughout the day, have a sleep up there. This cat that is wandering through at the moment is Jasiri. She always has to hang out with me when I am doing something in the bunny cage. She's like, what are you up to? Can I get involved? So now I'm just vacuuming the fleece from the top level of the cage. I actually clean that off while it's still in there because it's clipped onto the cage, which makes it easy to vacuum because the clips hold it in place and I don't have to worry about it. So that's why I'm vacuuming that while it's still in the cage. So usually I remove that fleece and then replace it with a clean one, but at the moment I am just removing that and not replacing it. So if you are new to my channel, my two rabbits here are Luna, who is the brown one, and Apollo is the white one, obviously, and they are about 7.5 years old this year. So they have a playpen, and as you can see, this grid CNC cage, it's 2 levels, and the hay rack on the left there, the hay tends to fall out the bottom, so I end up with all this hay behind the litter trays, which is what Luna is helping to herself at the moment. Now, cleaning up inside the cage is always the messiest part of this job. There are always bits of hay everywhere, little bits of poo, bits of clumps of fur. It's just always really, really messy inside the cage once I've pulled up the fleece, just because hay gets everywhere from around the litter trays and the hay rack. And I do have some, you can sort of see it in this shot, there's some clear, it's like core flute, but it's clear on the sides there to try and stop the hay coming through, but it still does come through a little bit. So I'm just repositioning things back in, making sure that the mat's in the right spot before I put the fleece down, and that's so that the tub fits on the right hand side next to it after I put the mat in. So they've got some nice new rainbow cloud fleece, nice and clean and fresh. Now at this point I stepped in one of the water bowls and tipped water everywhere, so that's me just cleaning that up there, making sure the rug's back in the correct position, and just replacing everything that I picked up, putting toys down, hidey holes, beds, that sort of thing. This timber bed, which is from IKEA, Apollo actually really loves that, and he sits on that every single day for a few hours. I reckon he has a sleep on there. He usually digs up the mats that it came with and sits on the bare timber, so that's quite funny. So I've just got a few branches there as well that they like to chew on. So at this point, now that I've finished cleaning up their cage, I'm just taking out their litter trays, and I didn't fully clean them out. Because they were fairly clean, I think I did them yesterday, so I just spot cleaned them, getting rid of the dirty litter and most of the poops and the bits of hay. And you can see as I'm doing that, Apollo here is playing with the stacking cups. This is his favourite toy. I can set this up 3 times a day and I'll come back through and he'll have thrown them all out again. It's very, very cute. So I have 2 litter trays for them in their cage. They fit really nice and snug in next to each other so that they can't get in behind the hay rack there. I found with only the one in there, A, it wasn't really big enough for the both of them, and B, they just used to sit next to the litter tray and wee and poo because they didn't have to sit in the litter tray. So just topping up the hay rack as well, and both of them will then just hop right in there to nibble on that fresh hay. So here is the newly cleaned and refreshed bunny cage, which looks really nice once everything's nice and vacuumed and not so fluffy. So I've got this gate on this really sturdy playpen, which works really, really well. And moving to the left, we have lovely Mr. Apollo sitting here next to this little pet couch, which is really cute, but I'm afraid none of the rabbits ever use it. I'm not sure why I still leave it in there. It's just, I don't know, it's just there in case one day they decide to change their mind. Next to that, we've got a couple of little wooden toys, some little barrel rollers, Apollo's stacking cups, and this long cardboard tunnel that I managed to grab from my workplace because it was going to get thrown away. And just having a little peek at Apollo there. Bun. James Bun. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Anyway. Moving on from that, we have this really... I've got 2 of these mats. They're actually shower mats, but they're really plush, and they've got these sort of knobbly plush bits on them. And the rabbits really love sitting on these because they're nice and soft. And then I've got this timber bendy bridge, which is better than the previous one I had, which was just like that dyed timber, whereas this is more natural timber, and they love chewing the bark off of that. Some plastic baby keys, which are always a fan favourite for most rabbits. And over here, this mat is stained because often they eat their veggies over here, and if I don't clean it up straight away, the veggies actually stain the rug and I can't get it out. So a couple of water bowls, that little IKEA bed that I mentioned, another mat, and this soft cushiony spongy mat as well that they really like to flop on, another water bowl, and then over to the right here we've got my storage, so storage tub with dried leaves and things in it, storage tub with fleece in it which overflows because they don't all fit and I need to get rid of some, the tub for dirty fleece, and then storage for toys and treats and various things, and the hay box as well that I fill up from outside to fill their hay rack. So inside the cage here, now the top level you can see is bare. I have left that bare intentionally, and as you can see underneath here, I've actually blocked off the steps to the second level with cardboard, and that's due to Apollo. About a month ago, he had a couple of seizures. He had one late on a Saturday night, and another one, I think 2 or 3 days later when he was at the vet. And so out of an abundance of caution, I blocked off the top level, so in case he had a seizure while he was upstairs and either fell down the stairs or something and managed to hurt himself. So no seizures since, but that's why that's the way it is. Behind Luna, there's a seagrass mat still, which has been up there for years, but they've recently started chewing on that. And this lovely blue wooden hidey box that Apollo loves to sleep in sometimes, along with some more toys and yet another water bowl. And on the left-hand side, we've got their 2 litter trays and their hay rack and another little toy on the left. So that's the entire cage tour. I know it's a little bit rushed, but I hope you enjoyed watching this video with my 2 gorgeous little bun-buns and the cage cleaning process. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.